It all started when you visited that hospital. Quiet Hill Hospital. That visit set it all in motion. Today, you know what you have to do. You were skeptical at first, but you couldn't resist the urge for long. You had to go to the clock tower. You had to see for yourself. You had to understand. You had to understand what that vision you had after visiting the hospital meant. After weeks of research, you finally found out where that clock tower was and read about all the rumors and stories that revolved around that place. The people who never returned, and those who were changed if they were lucky enough to return. But that is all in the past now. Now you knew what you must do, and you had to free him. Free the prisoner. You understand how the whole world is at stake. If the cult gets to you before you're able to cast that magic spell, we are all doomed. That is why you've wasted no time. You're set to cast the spell, and you've prepared everything required. It is time. It is time to return to the clock tower and set him free. Standing in front of it, you look up and see the clock set at 3. Just returning here fuels you with dedication to the cause. You feel the presence of the prisoner, and just being this close to the tower makes you determined more than ever to set him free. Entering the tower again and seeing the cogs and gears gets to you. You remember how they moved, how they ticked, and how you were caught in their motion. Even now as they stand still, as they stand perfectly still, you realize you got caught for a second, shaking your head to snap out of it. You go up the stairs until you reach the operating room, where you first encountered the prisoner, and where you know the link will be the strongest and the spell is most likely to work. With everything you need with you, you start by drawing a circle on the floor. A white circle you draw with chalk. After that, you draw a star inside that circle, a 5-point star. Once that's done, you light up 5 candles, placing one on each point of the star, turning off all other lights in the room, blacking out any windows in the room. And you're ready. You're ready to cast the spell. You sit down cross-legged in the middle of the room in the middle of the circle, closing your eyes, getting ready to do it. Ready to say the magic word the prisoner told you about. Feeling a lot of feelings come rushing at you all at once. From excitement, to nervousness, to even fear. But you take a deep breath and say it. Imdelikni. You see a portal opening on the wall in front of you. A vortex similar to the one at the hospital. Lights start to surround it as it grows wider and wider. While lights, all sorts of lights, surround it and continue to shift and change with each passing second. The vortex itself remains black, remains completely dark, pure darkness emitting from it. And while you're bewildered by it and caught by the lights and how the vortex grows, you hear his voice for the first time in a long time. You hear him say, "Thank you, my child. Thank you for freeing me. Thank you for being a fool." Instantly, you feel chains coming from the circle you're in, binding your legs to the floor and spreading your hands to the sides, leaving you open and exposed to what comes next. The vortex now as big as the wall before you. The vortex stops to expand. That's when for the first time you get to see who you've been talking to, who the prisoner is, who the prisoner really is. As an arm, a big black arm emerges from the vortex with long fingers and even longer sharp nails emerging from the vortex, like someone or something climbing out of the pits of hell, pulling the rest of its body out of the vortex. You watch in disbelief, looking at the tall, slender black figure that stands and towers before you, its eyes staring directly at you, with a grin showing its big white teeth, sending shivers down your spine, filling you with fear. You try to squirm and cower away, but the chains have you pinned in place. You look at it again, and you can see it traveling in your fear. It's like it's feeding on your own fear. Finally it moves. It moves in a weird and twisted way, bending its upper body to lean right in front of your face, getting face to face with it as it looks directly at you and speaks. "You've played your role exactly how I planned. You humans are so easily to manipulate. It's amusing. I was using you from the start. From the moment you entered the Quiet Hill Hospital, you became a pawn in my game. I made sure to twist the story so you'd believe me when you came here. Let me show you the truth. Bound and chained in place, you're helpless to do a thing as you see its long, sharp nail, or rather, its claw, tap in your forehead. Instantly, your eyes roll as you see it. You see the truth, what really happened in the hospital, the reality you found yourself in. You were brainwashed at that hospital, that hooded figure at the hospital. When he touched you, he cast a spell on you. He was only a worshipper of the devil. Yes, that creature that stands before you is the devil. He made you hear the voice coming from the vortex to convert you, to plant the seeds that were the catalyst to all of this. He told you to see these visions, to see the clock tower, yet gave you enough free will to test you, to see if you're a suitable candidate for the task. Many attempts before you have shown that if you were forced to come here in the first place, you wouldn't have gone through with casting the spell. But you came with your own free will. You wanted this. You wanted to believe me. And the rest, as you can see, has gone according to my plan. So you see, you wanted this. Part of you wanted this. Look at me. You feel him cupping your chin. His fingers reach in your cheeks and firmly grabbing you, forcing you to look at him. A part of you knew. A part of you knew I wasn't completely honest. A part of you knew I was lying. Yet you went through with casting the spell. That only means one thing. You wanted this. Isn't that right? You wanted to set me free. Yes, that's right. You wanted this. You're not as pure and innocent as you make yourself to be. You have a dark side. Embrace it. Let it out. Let me help you embrace it, so you can be who you truly are. Enough of this mask you have to put on in front of the word. Take it off. Take it off and show the world who you truly are. You immediately snap out of it as you hear a voice coming from behind the smoke after the explosion at the door. He says, "Leave them alone. I will force you back from whence you came." You see a tall old man standing at the door. It's the crazy man you had to use his phone when your car broke. What's he got to do with all of this, you ask yourself? But before you can even form a question, lightning comes out of his hands, knocking the devil to the floor as the battle ensues.